So these are one of the main list of force fields that are required, right? And we did discuss about this. Depending upon the software that you use, there are different force fields available. It could be like UFF or CFF, MMFF, MM2. These are generalized force fields, which are mainly for all atoms. Accuracy levels are a bit compromised there. But when you're looking at CHARM-M, Amber, Gromos, OPLS, and even OpenFF, as I said last time. These are very well validated and very well benchmarked also. So now, today we are going to see how to run MD, but we need to know what are the steps involved in MD, how to prepare the molecule, how to define the periodic boundary condition that is defining it in a box, a crystal, a unit cell, and then how to solvate it. And last time we discussed about how to neutralize them by ions. And then we wanted to correct the clashes and also minimize them to get into the best local minima. And so we initialize them and equilibrate it to a constant volume or constant pressure, and then we try to simulate them. And then after setting all these things, we go for a production run, which is the actual simulation. And then at the end, we try to analyze the data. That's where Shiva was mentioning about RMSD, RMSF, trajectories, etc., etc. So here, each of these analysis has its own importance, and it also gives a lot more information about what your MD frames, trajectories, or simulation has to say. I think this all I spoke about it last time, PDC, solvations, what are the different water models we have, implicit and explicit. In the ionization, I was talking about whether how to neutralize them, adding positive and negative ions and balance them. So this is where we are now. Like in the minimization, we have to prepare the system which are introduce unnatural stress by placing two atoms accidentally too close to each other. Because when you add water molecules, when you add ions, it might clash with the atoms in your proteins or amino acids. So we need to take care that they don't clash each other. If they clash, the forces won't be correct, the energy won't be optimal. So we have to do that. That's why the first step of minimization is much required in MD simulations. And results in large focus also being acting on the particles that would blow up the system. So that also we need. Sometimes on a normal initial minimization, all these water molecules might come out of the box. And to solve this problem, a normal energy minimization is performed in which the system is relaxed to the closest local energy minimum. This is why we try to do like maybe 1 nanosecond or even 500 picoseconds is fair enough, but at least 1 nanosecond is recommended if you have a good machine. Once the minimization is done, everything looks good, your system is good, your force stabilized and everything. You go into equilibrium. And this phase is conducted under the ensembles of interest to remove the effect of adding water ions, whatever else around the initial solute of interest, that is your protein or ligand, and the construction is done in whatever system of interest, of course, at low entropy and high regularity. And we do not want the protein to move significantly during this equilibration phase. So we will restrain it from harmonic forces with its initial position. That's very important because if the protein itself moves from its initial position, it's coming out of the box doesn't make sense, right? So within the box, we have to make it tether it, and then we have to make sure the protein is there. Now, equilibration can be done, and it has three different steps and three different behavioral thermodynamics. One is NV, NVT, and NPT. NV is microcanonical, NVT is canonical, and isothermal isobaric is NPT. So what is NVE? Changes in moles, which is N, volume V, and energy E. And canonical will be amount of substances N, volume V, and temperature T. And isothermal isobaric is amount of substance N, pressure P, and temperature T. So these three have its own significance, and we also look like to increase the temperature, production simulation, and NV is not at its equilibrium. So there is some correction here. I will correct it and send it out. in this particular slide. But that said, most of the time we look at NVT, NPT based on certain constraints and requirements. Once those equilibration is done properly, then we go for production run or MD simulation. This is where it is unrestrained production, where we use news over thermostat or Parinello-Rahman barostat. So thermostat is for temperature, barostat is for pressure. Was used that they more accurately sample the isothermal isobaric ensembles. So all these kind of parameters, what Shiva was mentioning, right? So we need to define this in the parameter file of if you're running GROMACS or if you're running OpenFF or Amber or even CharmM, all has its own parameter, or NAMD, all has its own parameter file. And these parameter files are very important because that drives its uh, pressure and temperature for the whole system to get simulated. And goal is most of the simulation is actually to have equilibrium sampling during the production. So especially data collection, generate trajectories and others. So now what are these parameters? One is the simulation size. How many number of atoms you have? Now, if you say you have 100 amino acids, each amino acids have atoms. So we could say maybe maybe around 3,000 atoms. But on top of 3,000 atoms, you're adding water molecules as well as ions, which might come to 20,000 or 10,000 atoms. Then you need to know time step. The total time duration must be selected so that the calculation can finish within a reasonable period of time. It's not that everybody's running 400 nanoseconds, let me also run. No, you need to have an assessment. For my system, what would be the appropriate time step that I have to give? And also the ensembles like NVT, NPT, and VE, temperature and pressure, what kind of thermostat and barostat you have to choose for your calculations, restraints and constraints based on Shakes algorithms, short range and long range electrostatics. Generally, we use PME algorithm. And again, time step, again, it's in femtoseconds, nanoseconds, and picoseconds, which also defines the duration of the MD run, which is time step multiplied by number of steps. And there's MD integrator, which is again a parameter called Verlet, which is to integrate the Newton's equations of motion. So these all parameters are very important. So I know that most of the students, even when I also started doing MD simulation, I never saw all these things. I just copy pasted the code and just ran it. I just look at the results. But these are very important when you work on very complex protein systems, when you are working on adding more forces to open up the pocket or to see more movements in your pocket. I mean, the proteins. So during the simulation, it generates a lot of trajectories. It's a single file, but it's a huge file. It can be in GBs, it can be 2 GB, 1 GB, or even 30 GB of data, where it will have all the frames and all the information in it. So this is basically helps you to understand how the different atom positions are helping you in order to identify what is the stability of that conformation of the protein at different temperature and pressure. That's exactly what we are trying to see. So the first thing that we can understand from trajectories is that what is the definite temperature, pressure, and volume. Second is the energy, especially potential and kinetic energy, and RMS deviation and RMS fluctuation. These two are important, especially on the whole. And again, we have to decide on what parameter we're looking at. For example, are we looking at the alpha carbon atoms, or are we looking at specific amino acid side chains, or only at the pocket amino acids, or only at the ligand? We can define them. Then secondary structure analysis, which is also important to understand where you have loops, helix, strands, and others. Radius of gyration, hydrogen bond analysis. This is where the ligand and protein, you need to know how far this hydrogen bond is stable throughout the simulation. When you say I have 1,000 frames, in this 1,000 frames, how many frames this hydrogen bond was strong? Or in how many frames this hydrogen bond was not there? Covariance and PCA is for mainly for clustering, and protein ligand interactions will be pulled out again with the free energy surfaces. This also we discussed last meeting in a very quick manner, just to understand what is the time levels that we have to define for each kind of objectives that we have. If you're looking for loop motions, if you're looking for ligand binding and unbinding events, or if you're looking for collective domain movements, that is what is called as cryptic pockets and enhanced MD sampling. Of course, we do series of 100 nanoseconds or 200 nanoseconds. This also tells you that how far or in what machines you can run these much of calculations, right? So you need the data centers for large calculations, but otherwise normal ones can always run on laptops. But nowadays, your new laptops, I mean the latest laptops with the GPU cards and ultra cores and all, you can run your MD maybe within a day or two. So they are much faster than latest laptops. Not i3, i5. I5 could take 20 days to run some decent nanoseconds, and you have to run continuously. So be careful with that. So I did discuss all these things, so I'm not going to get into too much about this, but these are some of the properties that we are looking at. That is one of the questions that I asked you why we are doing MD. So it is about one is to look at all the kinetic properties, which is a time-based evolution of conformation. So we want to see the refinement of protein structure and complex, the stability of the protein structure when some foreign particle or even ligand or some or even without a ligand, how they are stable and conformational sampling of small molecules, protein folding, stability of protein ligand interactions, transport of ions and ligands. And the other application is thermodynamic properties, which is based on intermolecular interaction. So free energy binding, FEP, uh, then again PBGBSA, so or PBA, MMGBSA, those things, right? So PBSA and MMGBSA, the heat of vaporization, pressure, and also the boiling point. Now, this is what I was trying to tell you earlier, right? Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah. So this is I've taken from a paper. I have not prepared this. So what it is trying to tell you is that the bond between this oxygen and the water and this particular amino acids, for example, you have serine, aspartic acid, alanine, and all. So here you see some percentages. This percentage is said to be 36 percentage, 36 percentage, 77 percentage, 45 percentage, 96 percentage. This is trying to tell you that in 1,000 frames, 96 percentage of the frames had this particular bond, right? Or there is 100% in all the frames, we are able to see the interactions with this particular manganese. So this is what is the hydrogen bond analysis which we do. And this is why we want to understand whether how far this post-stability is there or interaction is stable or not. So this can be done in all the softwares with the post-processing analysis. And you also can look at the mechanisms of protein allosterine MD assembly because you are trying to identify the allosteric modulation of GPCRs or bidirectionality and different things that also looks at with heterotrimeric G proteins. Also, we want to identify new pockets and the functional mechanisms for ion channels and process of protein folding and snapshots and timescales. I think this are all I have discussed last during the last class. Some of the specialized MD, like yesterday, Raghutam and we're talking about coarse grained and others, that's all comes under this, where you have simulated target MD, then steered MD, replica, exchange, Langevin dynamics, Brownian dynamics. I would recommend to start from simple, learn all the understanding about MD, why it is required, where it is applied, and then you can go for extended advanced ones. Uh, I'm a person who always want to start simple things and then get it advanced going. So do you have any questions so far? No questions? Are you able to understand? That's the best question I can ask.
Sir, how trajectories are important? What is the significance?
Let me see if I have a graph to show you. Hmm, I don't have a graph here. I should have. No, I don't have a graph, but I can verbally explain it. So let's say one step. Okay, where is that slide? Yeah, let's say one time step. So at one time step, what happens is this particular process. Yeah, this particular process. One step means this whole process happens. It is one step. Okay. Now, one step is not one frame. We tell the software how many steps to be considered as one frame. So they write it into the directory or your hard disk. What is one frame? And that file is that gets into trajectories. So the trajectory, it is not all the time steps are written. It's only the frequencies of time steps are written. But one time step is this whole process is one time step. So it tries to put it in location, apply force, accelerate it, calculate the velocity, calculate it to new energy parameters. Again, it moves to new position. That is one time step is complete. Then again, the next one goes. So that is each of the step. And once it might complete 1000 step, one frame will be returned to the trajectory. Multiple frames like that forms a trajectory. In that trajectory, we wanted to analyze all these parameters. The trajectory uh, from the movement of atoms records different information about the position of the atom, the energy, the distance, bond angle, bond length, all of this information will be there. So if you have one PDB structure of the same protein, no, let's say NMR structure. So NMR structures, we will have ensembles of NMR structure. So one protein NMR structure, there might be 76 models or 56 models because they have different conformations. Maybe disordered proteins, like disordered proteins always have multiple conformations. Now, that when you download it, it will be a PDB, but that PDB will be having multiple models in it. That is a trajectory actually, because each of the model is one frame. And I'm trying to compare it, okay, giving you a replica to explain it. So one conformation is one frame. The next conformation of the protein is the next frame. The third conformation is the third frame. All this combines together to form a trajectory. So when you do analysis, each of the frames parameters will be considered and they plot it as x-axis and y-axis. All your x-axis will be mostly the frames. As I said, if there are 1000 frames, there will be frames. And on your y-axis, it could be RMSD, the deviation in Armstrongs, or the distance, or it could be any other parameters. So this is where we try to compare it. So your trajectory data is very much important to perform all these data collection from each of the frame to come to a conclusion. So trajectory is a large file which contains confirmations of your system at different energy levels, at different distance levels, or etc., based on the simulation. I just gave a very layman explanation, okay, so that non-bioinfo or non-biophysics will understand. Okay, there is some other question in the chat. Oh yeah, trajectories. That's what we discussed now. Any other questions? If not, we are going to the next bit. So, please let me know if you were able to open the page, the last link that I gave you. Did it open up like this? If it is yes, why? If it is no, yen in your chat.
Yes, sir.
Oh, super, nice. So what we are trying to do here is that, yeah, what we are trying to do here is that we are trying to obtain some input for MD simulation, and we are trying to prepare that molecule for MD simulation, right? We are analyzing what are the topologies, what are the bond interactions, what are the water ionic parameters, and then we have to solvate the system. We want to add the ions for ionization step where we are trying to neutralize them. When we try to energy minimize, so all the process I just told you, right? Energy minimize, and then once it is successful, because we have to check if it is successful, and then we wanted to do the position constraints and do an equilibration run temperature, right? And pressure. I did mention all these things in the slides just a few minutes back. And then after the equilibration is done, we do the production run. And based on the production run, we have to do a few analysis. In these analysis, we will be talking about all your RMSD, whether it is converged, RMSF, all radius of gyration, all these things will be analyzed here. So are you able to relate to what I just discussed in the slides? It's a very lengthy notebook, self-explanatory, and it is a tutorial from Gromax official site. Back in 2020, I generated and developed a Jupyter notebook for Gromax. That time it was not there for Gromax site, and it was being extensively used and cited, but then I did not maintain it. So Gromax now has their own tutorial for Gromax and Jupyter Notebook. The best part is this: these calculations are not run in your computer. The second best part is you need not to know any coding, any scripting, nothing. The only thing you need to know is the patience and read this carefully, because you have to read each and every line. You have to read, then only execute it. Don't simply click 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 and execute it. So once you open this, there are two settings you have to do. The one is you have to click, it might be not trusted for you in this region, right? So you have to do, you have to click on it and say trusted. That is the first step. The second step is here, just after the Jupyter lab, it might be showing you no kernel sometimes, not for everyone, sometimes, some people. So you can click on that, and you can click on this particular Python 3 IP kernel. Click that and then say select. So please let me know if you have done that.
Yes, sir.
And this can, sorry,
Sir, done.
okay, good. So you have done it. So I don't know how many of you are doing it. If you're doing it, please do it. And I'm not going to do a hands-on here. I'm just going to give you some heads up on how to run it. So once you have this Python 3 IP kernel, and once you have this trusted, you're ready to run. As I said, you're not running this in your laptop. So your laptop can be i3, i5, anything, not necessarily. But a very important thing is you need to have a good internet, because if internet get disconnected, the job will stop, the job will crash. So that is important. And now I really don't know whether it will run it on a mobile. It should run, but I really don't know. I have not tried it. Generally, Jupyter Notebook should run on mobiles. Yeah, if it is showing not trusted in your system, you can trust it, no problem. You can click on it and convert to trusted, so that's okay. It is absolutely fine. I don't know if you're accessing from your institutional network. If they block it, then you cannot access, but otherwise it is safe. Okay. Now this is called one cell, right? This is just to see whether it is everything is running or not, and you have to check if it is being modified or anything, etc. So if you click this, and you can click this play button, that particular cell get executed. When it is executing, it will be in asterisk or star. And once it is executed, you will get a number here, like 1, 2, 3 number, right? So it is still running, and let's see when it gets finished. Let me see if I can show you something else. View. That's okay. I tried to change their default things, so that's okay. So this is still running. So there's no problem. It is still running. Let's see when it finishes. Did it finish for you guys when you ran? I don't know how many of you are running. Okay, please let me know.
Okay.
Is it run or
Asterisk is showing, but nothing is there, like one or two.
okay? Yeah, probably it is taking time since everybody's opened it right now. No, it might be taking time. That also happens because if I run this now, that will be under waiting because this has to get completed in order the next one to run. If I don't run this and if I run the next one also, it won't work because you have to initialize the system before running the next one. So,
Sir, I'm so sorry that I have missed it. Can you please recap?
sorry, Shiva.
Sir, actually, I do not understand what to run. So we should copy this code, the script, and paste in the terminal.
You need not to do anything. As I told you, don't do anything. Just click on it and click the play button.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. My message, my main take home message here is you shouldn't know any coding. You shouldn't know any scripting to run this. Only thing you need to know is your protein. Okay, I'm trying to reload it. Something happened. There are other, even my Jupyter notebook is also, it's a bit outdated. That's why I did not go for it. I thought to show you something common available, but we can try that also. Okay, let me try running this now. Oh yeah, it ran. So did you get the number here?
No, sir.
It's running in my system, but nothing is showing. Only asterisk is showing.
Oh, okay. Try to refresh it and see. So
Okay.
when I click on that link, it has to come here. And then when you click the play button, now it has run. So if I go to the next cell, this is to import certain libraries to run. So if I play here, and yeah, see, I can get the number 2 here. Hope you can see the number 2. And now I'm going to change the directory to data and I'm trying to list all of them. So I have my input and references. I'm just looking at my input of the simulation to view them. So it has to load. Let's see if it loads. not sure if it is loading. No, because these are running in the remote, so it might take some time. Okay, generally we should see the visualizer here, but it is not loading. Let's see. No, the protein is not loading. Input files. Let's. Yeah, PDBs are there. So you can see the PDBs and MDP files are there. Are you following me or not? Please speak up, okay? If you don't speak up, I'm under the impression that you're following it. That's all. So please speak up if you have any doubts. If you're keeping quiet, you will never understand if you do not know. Okay. So this is all just testing, okay? Just don't worry too much about this. This is all just checking if everything is perfect, if all the data is there or not. We are checking if there is a protein data is there. What is the value in the protein? So here in this step, we were trying to clean the protein and separate the data here. And we are then trying to visualize it. Somehow the visualizer is not working in my laptop, might be working for you. So are you getting these numbers, whoever is working? I mean, whoever has this page loaded.
Yes, sir, I have come up to 3.
Your audio is not clear, so can you put it in the chat, please? Hello?
Sir, it is not working for me.
What is the issue?
Like if I say run, it is not showing any numbers.
Can you close that and open the link again and see
There is
and
a
just and
refresh button.
without that trusted thing and I'll just run it and see.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, because this is a remote machine, so sometimes when there is a load, it might be having issues. So I am in this particular page where you see note GMX. So we are using GROMAX. GROMAX code, the command is GMX. So we are converting to PDB to GMX, where we are trying to look at the topology. So we are generating a topology. So using the PDB information, PDB is our protein. Using the PDB information, we are trying to generate topology, which is ITP, then position restraint, as well as post-process structure, which would be in a GROW format. So the PDB will get converted to ITP files as well as GROW formats. That's a step that we are going to do here. So again, you click on that cell and press the play button. Now your GROWMAX is actually running. So we have GROWMAX 2025 version, and it is running, and it is telling you how many atoms are there in chain A, how many atoms are there in chain L of the protein that you have given. And the protein ID is 1FJS. This is the protein ID. We can quickly see what is that protein. Sorry. So we can quickly see this protein. So this protein is some with the inhibitor. So it's a crystal structure of inhibitor ZK807, that is CI1031 complex with the factor XA. So this is actually
Which file you chose, sir?
it's a coagulation factor XA. Sorry?
Which file you used for the
The
protein
file,
structure?
yeah, it is this one, 1FS. Can you see the screen?
Sir.
Yeah. So here what we have used is we have used a 1FJS protein, and we have used the water model TIP3P. It's there in my slide. And also I've used the force field charm M27. Okay. And it was telling you all the changes and cleaning preparation. It has given you a lot more information about the distance metrics and looking at the bond, and it started writing the topology files. So at the end, it wrote the topology files. And the good thing with GROMACS, what I like is if anything is successful running, it always gives you some sayings, some proverbs and stuff. We all get the flu. We all get AIDS. So they give some nice and funny proverbs here. So anyway, so jokes apart, so here it is saying that you have successfully generated a topology file for this particular PDB. So you will have the ITP file as well as the GROW file. Now let's examine this, right? So as I said, there are different force fields available in GROMACS, Amber, CharmM, GROMOS, and OPLS. I generally prefer CharmM or OpenFF. These are my preferred, or Amber also. So then you have to choose the water models, and we wanted to see the generated files here. So here you can see there are grow file, which is generated right now after my calculation. It has generated the ITP file for each chains separately. You can see here, and also it generated the topology file, which is called topol.top. So on each run, this topology file gets updated. So did everyone reach this stage?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I can hear only about Shiva and Ankur, Dr. Ankur. What about others? Are you guys able to do it? If there is no computer, I can agree and understand. Those who all having it. Okay, Indranil, Alakya. Okay, what about others? We are around 25 people here, and only 4 have responded. If you're stuck somewhere, share the screenshot. Okay, in the chat you can paste the screenshot. I can help you with that. See, our intention is that I want you to get into that stage where you can run some jobs. But take time for this to read line by line, okay? It's very important for you to run successfully some MD independently. Okay. What about others? Thanks to all who responded. Even if it is a no, also you can respond. That's a response, right? Okay, what about others? As I said, it will still work in mobiles, okay? So don't when I think I'm doing this course for the past 4 years. I always see that people who don't have laptop also should be able to run this. So I don't know about the speed of your mobile, but it should work. Okay, I don't see any other response. Let me continue. Thanks for that then. Now we wanted to understand the molecule's topology. So let's read the topology file. So this is the content of the topology file which we generated from the PDB. Not that long, but this gets added up when you start running more calculation. This topol file is very important because it has very key information, the key information for the whole MD process. So you have defined what is the force field here, and for both the chains, the topologies are defined. For the force field, we have the and the models being defined, and we are also telling what are the position constraint and forces at each axis, X, Y, Z. And we also trying to include a topology for ions. So you have an ions topology from CharmM, and we are trying to name the system. You can always change this name, not necessarily it should be that one. And here we are telling there are molecules. One is chain A and chain B, right? When it is a ligand, it will be molecules. That molecule ligand name will be generally it is LIG leak, and then molecules will be defined, right? So then we can also see about we want to change the name. So here you can see, right, the topol for chain A, I wanted to change the type of the particular protein chain. So I'm just adding them. And even for chain L, also I want to add them. And then I want to look at the atoms in the topol file. So I can see these many atoms. You can see that these are the RTP ILE, isoleucine, basically ILE means. And then this can be also looked at the charged ones. And then if I'm going for bond and interactions, I can look at the specific, oh, sorry, I think it's still running. No, it's run. Okay, yeah. So then I'm looking at the bonded interactions, if there is any bonded interactions already being looked at. Good, nice. I can see more people are now using it. And also I want to look at the pair interactions. So these are the pair interactions. I want to look at the angles on that particular interactions and the dihedrals of the position that I have defined on the isoleucine, which I picked up. And then I want to also look at the water positions and restraints. These are the two which post ray. These files are there. Earlier I showed you. I want to see what is there in the post ray, which again tells you for each atom, I'm trying to define the equal forces. If I change these forces, then it will try to push the positions of those atoms. So these are something more advanced MD, which I'm not going to evaluate right now. If you want to include the water topology, we can always say that include this into the topol file. So earlier we saw a topol file. Now, after a few minutes, I'm going to show you the updated topol file. You'll see a lot more information there. And we have a system level definitions showing what is a name, what is a molecule. This you have seen earlier. And now, since the topol file is ready, we have checked every regions and different sections of topol. Now we wanted to solvate our system, adding water molecules. So we are solvating it with a dodecahedron shape, and it is trying to look at the size of the box, vectors, angles, and they try to adjust the center box angles and vectors based on the size or the shape that we have given. And it is trying to tell you the volume. It is having 4,417 atoms of proteins and these many electrons. Now we wanted to fill the box with the water. So we created the box now. So within the box, we want to fill the water. I'm just running that. So it is now filling the water. So it will fill up a lot of water molecules and it will tell you how many of them are there. Let's see. So there are 11,777 water molecules added to the system. Yeah, that is SOL means solvent. Solvent here it is water. So that has also got added to the topology file. So after each run, your topol file gets updated. Now, if you look at the topol, you can see the difference. So here you can see there is a chain A, chain B, chain L, and water molecule. There are 111,777 water molecules are there. Now we wanted to solvate it and we want to visualize it. I'm not sure whether we can visualize it because, as I said earlier, also it did not work. Let's try. It would have been nice if it worked. Probably it might work for you, not for me. But yeah, it would have been nice if it worked. You can try it out if it works for you. It should work. There shouldn't be an issue, but I don't know. Maybe my settings are not good. Now I wanted to add ions. So I have a settings for looking at the ion parameter file. And now I'm going to assemble my ions into it. So I'm trying to calculate what are the energies based on single point energy evaluations. And then I'm trying to see how many negative charged or positive charged and all. So here system has a non-total. So there's a -2 charges in my system. So I wanted to neutralize them. I want to see how many more ions to be added in order to neutralize them. So they have given us many few warnings, what all things to be set. So based on that warning, we have to tell, okay, I'm going to add chlorine to neutralize them. So I'm just running them and it is saying that it has added 36 sodium ions. Sorry, Na is for sodium, okay? Sodium and chlorine, both are there. And 36 chlorine items. That is where we saw a -2, right? That is the difference you're saying there. There is only 38 sodium, but 36 chlorine -2. It's just because already the system is -2. So we want to neutralize it. So if we added equal, the system won't be neutralized. It will be still -2 charged. So it will, on each groups, it will tell you what all it has to be done. And I've selected the solvents, and then the topology file is being updated, and it replaces. So because we wanted to replace the water molecules with the ions, because if I put water molecules, it will have a clash. So I replace the water molecules with the ions and neutralize the system. So the neutralization is done. And if I look at the topol file, you will see again the topol got updated by saying that sodium, there are 38 ions, and chlorine, there are 36 ions. So far, is it clear? So we have done preparation of cleaning of our molecule. We did defining the box. We defined the periodic boundary condition. We solvated it, and we ionized it. Is it clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Good. So it
Yes,
should
sir.
go well hand in hand with the slides also. The slides also has the steps. Okay. So if you refer the slides and that, it will be easy to go in hand. Good. Now let's look at how the system looks. I'm not going to do that because it's not working. It should work for you. Is the visualization working for you guys? Are you
No,
able
sir.
to see? No? Oh, okay. Oh, then some issue with them with their settings. Okay, let me check it out and I'll put in the message what you have to add or something like that. I'll test it a bit later. Now we wanted to do energy minimization. So for energy minimization, I already told you that there are certain parameters that to be set. In the slides, you have this parameter. I told you about integrator. I told you about the size, step size, when you have to stop at the particular force, at what energy level you wanted to write every frames, and how long you wanted to need to run, what are the constraints, van der Waal modifier. Again, I told you about this electrostatics, the PME. These are all there in the slides. Okay. Now I wanted to run the energy minimization. I want to set up the system. I'm not running it yet. I'm just setting up the system. What should be my input? What should be my output? All those things I'm trying to define. Okay. Now, in order to run, it's always MD run. So GMX MD run is always the command to run. So now I am running the actual minimization. So it is saying that it is using one CPU. It is saying that, right? List is lower than the logical count. So it won't be faster, okay? We don't have much resources for this particular kernel. Let me see if I can show you that. Um, how much resource we have. Not sure. I'll find out. So anyway, this is now running. Still it's running. You can see it's asterisk symbol. So it is still running. So I won't be running through all the steps today, but I want you to complete it. That is your assignment for each and every one. Radhakrishan, do we have a monitoring system for their assignments or someone else there? If not, you can put it in the WhatsApp group, the screenshot of what you finished. I want to see the last one, the analysis ones. Please put the screenshots in the WhatsApp group for each one of you. So now you can see it as completed. So it is saying you what is the potential energy, maximum force, and other parameters, and it has stopped within the 827 steps because it achieved and converged to the force which I have given as maximum as 1000. By default is 1000 anyway. Okay, so this is a lengthy notebook. As you can see, if you go down, there are a lot more. I'm not going to run all this today. So what I want you to do is I want you to run all these things at least till, yeah, at least till the time step partitioning. This is not required. So at least till this one, report methods, right? I'm just putting the screenshot so that you guys know what you have to do. So I need assignment from all of you where you have run until then, until this part.
Sir, I need one small clarification.
Yep.
Sir, at the step of 44,
Yeah. Oh, the numbers will get changed. If you rerun it, the numbers will change. So we cannot call a particular step 44 or anything like that. But yeah, go ahead.
so there it is showing um,
I cannot hear you. Hello.
Sir, here it is showing your computer should now be working at full speed to finish this simulation. It should be done in 5 to 10 minutes. So
Okay.
if we do not want to wait, then it is asking to remove hash symbol from the comment characters.
Uh, go with the default one. It's okay. I don't know which command you are in.
Above equilibration run.
Oh, still about equilibration. Just a second. This is yeah. I don't want you to change all those things because keep it default because I know what is this, but that is a different steps. So it's okay.
It is a temperature, not potential.
Sorry.
It is in the step of temperature, echo temperature command line.
I couldn't. Can you tell me which one? Is this one?
Yes,
Echo
sir. Yes,
temperature.
sir.
This one?
Yes, yes. Above that hash symbol.
This one.
Yes, sir.
Ah,
So to do
no, no,
this,
no. No. I don't recommend you to do this. No, not now. So uh, only execute the lines below if you do not want to run and wait for the simulation to finish. The reason is these are they have already run these files and you have those files there already, right? So if you do not want to run the simulation, then you can use these files and proceed. But yeah, I will only I want you to run the simulation first. Yeah, feel it, how much time it takes. Don't do the shortcut. So if there is any error in your simulation, just uncomment it and run it so that you can at least see what is the output. But I want you to run the simulation, please. I'll be specifically asking you the output of this one. I want you to run because you have to feel how much time it takes, what is the steps it taken, and how it came out. It will take only 5 to 10 minutes, so don't worry, not too much time. Okay. Any other questions for today? And as I said, this assignment is for everyone, even if you're only having mobile, because it works. So don't come up with reasons that you don't have a laptop. This assignment is for everyone. And you don't need any login, nothing. You need to just run. And next session, maybe for 5 to 10 minutes in the beginning, we will have some questions. Just I want to understand how much you understood from this analysis and what you have done also. So that would be really great. Okay, that's all from me. Do you have any more questions? Wonderful. Thank you so much. Have a lovely weekend and looking forward to your assignments then.
Sir, last class you have told that you will introduce about yourself and about your career.
Okay. Okay, I can do that. So, uh, yeah, so myself working here as a lead scientist in computational chemistry at Signature Discovery. So we are a CRO company. We have around 61 compounds in the clinic. We have two compounds already in the market and around 34 or 32 compounds in the clinical trials. So very successful company. And I am also was part of one of the peptide drug conjugate, which is going to early this year on clinical trials. Looking at my academic career, I did my bioinformatics, biochemistry, and then uh, worked as a lecturer in India, and then worked with Accelrus, the Discovery Studio company, Accelrus, and I worked a bit as a research scholar in University of Kerala, and then I moved to University of Florida. So I got a fellowship and moved to US for my PhD. So I was working on mosquito repellency and a bit more on peptidomimetics and peptides and others, completely into computational modeling, QSAR, MD simulations, and others. Then I moved to Estonia, where I was a Marie Curie fellow. So I was working on LRKK2 receptor on basically for designing new molecules, again using machine learning methods and others. And after that, I came back to India, have two companies incorporated where we have technology solutions for different softwares. Example, many others are like material science, formulations, thermodynamics related things and developments. So, and I was part of Drug Discovery Hackathon, which was being conducted by Ministry of Education, Government of India, and also being a research advisor to a few of the across universities in India, a board of studies member and others. And then I came to UK in 2022 and joined here, and very much involved in drug discovery pipelines, developing new workflows and softwares for internal use to make the decision making much more amenable. So yeah, that is all about me.